Hi, I'm Deandrea and welcome back to my channel. Today's workout is a prenatal Pilates routine that is focused a little bit more on breath and stretching, and we'll be utilizing a Pilates dowel and a yoga block today. And if you don't have one of those, feel free to grab a thick book as well as a broom. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so today's routine is definitely catered to my third trimester mamas who are looking to just move and breathe a little bit more and continue to just, honor their bodies and where they're at this stage of pregnancy. So I'm currently almost 36 weeks pregnant. So for me, the focus is a little bit more on breath, expanding, opening, and just being sure to keep my joints nice and lubricated, particularly my shoulders and my hips, right? With the weight of the baby that they've taken a beating, right? So we're gonna do the routine today on the floor. And I'm gonna start out in a seated position, bringing the soles of my feet together, kind of like a diamond shape or butterfly legs. But I want you to take your legs to the position that works for you. So for me, it feels better to take my heels further out. And if this position doesn't work, you can always just sit with your legs wider apart, okay? Totally up to you. Just make sure you don't feel squeezed in your pelvis. All right, so we're just gonna start out with a little bit of spinal movement here. Again, sit in a nice tall position over your sits bones, chin away from your chest, and then we'll begin to roll down. So let's bring chin to chest. Slowly begin to bring the shoulders into it, feeling the spine roll forward. And I'm going to take my hands and slide them out as I bring myself forward over my legs. Inhale once you get to the bottom, and then exhale, very slowly start to rewind, roll up, shoulders roll back, and then the head lifts at the end. So let's add some breath. Inhale at the top. And exhale, chin to chest, slowly roll it down and just get as much articulation through your back as you can. Arms are heavy on the floor, heavy head. And then slowly exhale, start to roll yourself back up. Just being aware of bringing the shoulders back before you bring the head up. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale, chin to chest, roll it through, letting those shoulders release, mid-back, feel the lower back just come forward. And then slowly roll all the way up. And let's add in our arms, okay? So reach up overhead, deep breath in. And then exhale, chin to chest, kind of dive forward. And same thing, slide out. This time as we slide out, let's add a little extension. So take your gaze forward if you can, allowing the shoulders to go back and lift the head. Inhale here, and then exhale, contract up. So drop the head, round the spine, come up, bringing the arms up with you at the top, full breath in. And exhale, chin to chest, curl it down, roll forward, allow yourself to go out and find that extension. So that means shoulders back, chest lifts if you have that. And then roll all the way up. And again, change up your legs if you need to, if this is just starting to get uncomfortable as you roll forward. One more, and chin to chest, roll it through. Think of snaking it out through the top of your head, open your chest. This is your final one. And then exhale, round the back, start to roll it up, arms lift up overhead, and releasing them down. All right. From there, I'm gonna sit crisscross now. That's a little bit more comfortable for me. Feel free to change up your legs, okay? And so here, just some free movement side to side. Just moving again. We don't have that extreme rotation at this point, and that's something you don't ever wanna force anyway at this stage in your pregnancy, but just getting some movement through our upper torso, allowing your head to move freely with your arms. If you're getting dizzy, just do this a lot slower and maybe just turn your head side to side. Good. And release. Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna grab my broomstick. If you don't have one on you, it's totally fine. You can mimic it. You can even use a strap if you prefer. But the broomstick's nice because it's nice and firm and giving you some feedback. So holding on, I'm gonna hold on. So for me, this dowel This Pilates stick is wider than my shoulders. And so that's kind of where I'm gonna hold on, right? I don't wanna be too narrow, but a little wider than shoulders distance apart. Taking it to the back of my head and then matching the resistance by pressing my head into it, right? So I'm pushing in and pushing back. So it's really nice on opening up through the chest, okay? And we're gonna go back into a rotation. Now again, it's definitely more limited than what we were doing before. Inhale in the center, exhale, rotate. But just trying to get some movement through those shoulders, upper back. Inhale through center, exhale, take it to the other side. And I'm being sure to keep my elbows nice and wide as I do this as well. And of course, listening to where you're at today. If you need to skip, any of the twists, anything doesn't feel good, please do. Let's go for one more each side. Being sure to keep your shoulders on your back, breathing as you twist. Nice, and back to center. Okay, so finding a grip now. Take a break with your shoulders if you need to. Otherwise, we're gonna stay here and go into a side bend. So the idea is you're moving from your spine and the arms kind of just go along for the ride. And back to center. So let's use inhale in the middle and exhale, find that side bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. And again, if your shoulders, arms get tired, just drop the stick and focus on the movement. And exhale, side stretch. Good. Again, shoulders on your back. Full breath in to lift. This is your last set. Exhale. One more lift. And exhale. All right, let's come back to center. Lift the arms up and bring the pole in front of you. Pole, dowel, broomstick, whatever you have. So I'm still holding a little bit wider than shoulders distance apart, okay? Feeling my shoulders roll back, stay lifted through your chest, and then the arms rise up overhead, and then lower back down. Good, so coordinate out the breath. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. So what I'm doing with my core, with my torso, is avoiding that dumping into my lower back, right? And enforcing just sort of that arch, but maintaining it instead. As I move through the arms, I'm able to maintain core stability, right? Breathing in as you lift. Exhale down, 2 more. Last one, and lift. And release the arms down. Very nice. Okay, so we're gonna put this down for now and make our way onto our hands and knees. So my hands are directly underneath my shoulders. Now the knees at this point, being underneath the hips is cool. If you need a little bit more space, do it, right? Like take your knees a little further apart. I don't want you to feel crunched in any way in that pelvis. All right, so as you push your palms into the mat, round through the spine, tucking the tail, tuck the head, and lift your waist up to the ceiling. I'm gonna use that rounded shape as my exhale. And then inhale, release it out, open through your chest. And think about dragging the collarbone up as the belly drops. Exhale again, round up, pushing your palms firmly into the mat. Heavy head, let go of the neck. And then extend out, breathing in, fill up. And exhale, round the back, palms pressing into the mat. One more. Breathing in, extend, open through the chest. And exhale, round the spine. Now let's find a nice sort of neutral, right? Whatever neutral is for you. You don't feel rounded, you don't feel arched. And then you're gonna take your gaze back towards your left hip. So as I'm doing that, I'm bringing my hip in. It's almost like a little crunch in the waist. And then back to center. Then other side, it's like you're looking back at your tail. And center, other side. Inhale, center, exhale, bend. Inhale, center, one more set. Exhale, bend. Just allow those hips to sway. Last one. and back to center. All right, so the left hand now is gonna go forward of the right hand on the mat. You can do, on your fingers, spider fingers, or you can stay flat on your palm, all right? So I got left arm forward, and now my right leg is back. Find your stability here, and then float the leg up, lengthening out from the top of your head through your toes there, and see if you can find your stability. And then exhale, bring that knee in. Inhale, reach it out long. 3 more like that. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, bring it in. Staying stable through your shoulders and your back. Now this time extend it back, bend the knee, bring the heel in towards the hip, lengthen the leg, and repeat that. 3 and 4. Lower the knee down. All right, other side. So opposite arm forward, opposite leg back, stay long through your torso and float up. 3, 2, hold it up on 1 and then curl it in for 4. Lengthening that leg out. 2 and 1, lower the knee back down. All right, separate your knees, extend your hips back towards your heels and take a little child's pose. Remember, make enough room for the baby, for your pelvis. Good. Heavy head, arms long. You can even bend the elbows a bit if that takes pressure off your shoulders. And take some deep breaths. Good. Take another full breath in. And exhale, lift yourself back up. Bring the knees back underneath you. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna grab the yoga block. Now it's not totally necessary to have this. Again, block or thick book is fine, or nothing at all. All I'm doing is trying to bring the ground up to me a little bit higher, okay? So if you have something else firm and steady you can use lying around, go for it. So I have my right hand on top, bringing my right knee pretty much in line with the center of the block. Opposite leg is out long with the toes pointing forward. So it allowed me to bring the mat up a little bit so I don't have to be so low into my hips. Then the top arm is reaching out and get that nice side stretch. We still want to be aware of that shoulder that's on the mat, right? So feel that come onto your back. Reach long through the top arm. Then from there, take another deep breath in. Exhale, lift yourself up. And then you're going to slide down the leg the best you can and get the side stretch. Good. And bring it back to that T position. Hand on the block, lengthen out. So again, bottom shoulder pulls back. You reach out and maybe open your chest a little bit more through the upper torso. And float up, slide down the leg, and reach. Good. Little adjustment of the shirt. And again, back to the block and reach over. Definitely have run out of things that fit, so get a little peek now and then of the belly. And back up, and then over, slide down the leg and reach. And float it up. All right, great. So let's move the block to the other side. Really nice to open up those sides, get some deeper breaths, open up the ribs a bit. All right, so start with your hand on the block. Knee is pretty much in line with my palm and the center of the block. All right, opposite arm comes up, take that stretch. Check in with your bottom shoulder, staying connected to your back. And float up. Sliding down the leg, creating space on the opposite side. Inhale, lift, and exhale, connect with the block. Take your time and reach. Maybe spiral open a little bit more here, reaching through that top arm. And float up, and then over the leg. You got 2 more, so take your time. Just full breath in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Good. Last one, floating back to the block. Use the breath, reaching long through that arm. And float up and over the leg. Awesome. Okay. From there, bring yourself down to the mat. And I'm going back to that broomstick, okay? So in this position, again, sit crisscross, soles of the feet together, whatever works for you. But I'm going to give you a side view so you can see what I'm doing. So again, to encourage some nice upright posture, keep the strength in our shoulders, we're going to hold on to the broomstick, and you want to take your arms far enough back that you're able to keep your wrists straight. Neck is long, and from here, keeping straight arms, lift the arms up, and as you lift, feel the shoulder blades narrow a bit, and then arms lower. And 2. So I'm being very aware to keep my wrists straight, elbows straight. And what you're trying to avoid is that dumping of the arm forward of the shoulder, right? You want to lift, keeping your shoulders connected to the back. Good. 2 more slow. And then lift it up, hold it, pulse the arms up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Definitely feeling that. All right, flip your grip. So palm facing you, you still have a straight wrist, chest lifted, and up. So in this one, if you're hyperextended, you might need to soften your elbow a bit to make sure you're moving from your shoulder. Up. Up. Good. A few more slow. And then hold it up, pulse it up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Whew. Okay, so let go of that broomstick. Take one arm in front of you, cross it over, and feel a stretch. So all I did was bring my arm across my chest, opposite arm comes here. And release, other side. So arm across the chest, push the forearm in, and feel that nice stretch to the shoulder. Another deep breath, and release that side. Okay, so I'm going to push those to the side for now and sit mermaid style on my mat. So I'm going to do it with split legs, okay? So if you need to move this front leg forward a little bit to create some space, do that. The opposite hand comes back on the mat. All right, from here I'm going into a hip lift, sending my hips forward and sweep them up. Now, as I lift up, the arm comes up, reaches back if you have that available, and lower, back down. Full breath in at the bottom, exhale and lift up, and release. Good, inhale here, exhale and lift. Take another breath in while you're back there. Exhale, bring it down, just feel nice in the hips. Last one, and lift up. And release it down. All right, switch legs. Other leg in front, other leg bent to the side. All right, so my hand's kind of like, it's not directly behind my hip, it's off to the side. And sweep, fix my shirt, and exhale, lift up. Pressing the hips forward, opening your chest to the ceiling. And lower, and again, exhale and lift. And down, good, 2 more, and lift, reaching back. And lower, good, last one, and lift. And lower down. All right, very good. Okay, so from here, turn and face the mat. You have one knee kind of behind the hip, and the other leg's gonna step forward in a wide position towards the edge of the mat. Hands are on the inside of the leg here. You can scoot that knee back a little bit further, and then draw the hips forward in this like lizardy pose, and open up through the chest. Then start to send the hips back, straighten through the front leg, lifting your toes to the ceiling. And flow back and forth to those 2 positions. So gaze forward, hips forward. And then hips drop, head drops, lift those toes. Feeling those inner thighs and hamstrings, right? Here, breathing in. And exhale, bring it back. One more, bring it forward, head lifts. And bring it back. Then go ahead and bring it forward, that knee is bent. Opposite hand stays on the mat. So my foot and my hand are in line. Then I'm gonna release that top arm and open up and back down. Just do that 4 times. Like a little book opener here. 2 more, and reach, and lower. Last one, reach up, and the hand comes down. Good, transition legs. Opposite leg forward, and again, wide, right? Making room for that pelvis, creating some space. So take it forward in that lizard pose, chest up. And then hips back, curl the toes up, stretch to that front leg. And again, bring it forward, flowing into that lunge. And then bring it back, toes up, hips back. 2 more. Ease your way back. Good, final one. Full breath in. And exhale, take it back, straightening through that front leg. Great. All right. Coming up to the knees and stacking from head to knee, arms reach forward, knees are hip distance apart, and I'm gonna go into a thigh stretch. I like my toes curled under, all right? You're gonna hinge it back and exhale, lift. And again, back. Now this is one that's called a stretch, but you're really just feeling a little bit of work in your thighs, but staying open through the front of your hips. 2 more, take it back. And up. Last one. And bring it up. Now I'm gonna keep my toes curled under and sit back on my heels and feel that nice opening through your feet. So as your toes are curled under, opening up through your arches as you sit on your heels. Now if this doesn't feel good on your knees or your feet, please back off, okay? But it's a nice way to just kind of open up through the arches, through the feet. Couple more breaths. I know I get a few cracks out of my toes when I do it. And lift up. Very good. Back to hands and knees. Go back into one more cat-cow stretch. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, release. Expand, open your chest. 2 more. Exhale, round your back. Lift up through the waist. And release. 1 more. Exhale, round the back. And release. Good. And then from there, take a seat on your mat. Crisscross the legs again, if that feels good to you, and sweep the arms overhead. I'm using my left hand to grab my right wrist and side stretch over. And up, and grab the other wrist, side stretch over. And up, push up through both palms, reaching to the ceiling, and release your arms down. Well, that's it. So thank you for joining me for this stretchy Pilates flow. And thank yourself for taking some time today for your body, for your baby, and just, spending some time and some quiet and, really taking care of yourself. So thank you for your time, and I will see you next time on the mat.